Welcome. My name is Jeffrey Vail, Forest Supervisor for the Angeles National Forest and San Gabriel Mountains National Monument. We appreciate your being here today. This occasion was brought about by the establishment by President Obama in October 2014 of the San Gabriel Mountains National Monument, an area within the Angeles National Forest totaling approximately 346,000 acres.
The purpose of the National Monument is to call attention to the number of historic and scientific objects of interest that are contained within the Angeles National Forest and to indicate their specialness and uniqueness. As part of the presidential proclamation, the Angeles National Forest was given 3 years to develop a monument management plan. There were really two main drivers for the content of the Monument Management Plan. The first of those is the presidential proclamation itself. President Obama named a number of objects of historic and scientific interest, and we're required for the Monument Management Plan to indicate how we're going to protect those objects. The other big driver is that we got a lot of public input last year at some meetings that we held in June of 2015. The first of those was sustainable recreation. In other words, how can we manage all of the recreational opportunities on the National Forest and within the National Monument in such a way that we're still protecting those objects of interest that were identified in the presidential proclamation. The second issue is environmental justice. In other words, how can we manage the monument in such a way as to ensure access to anyone who might want to go and enjoy the National Monument? The third issue was wildlife, which is a common issue for the Forest Service in managing public land where plenty of wildlife species live. And again, making sure that we're balancing people's access to the National Monument with protecting wildlife species. The fourth issue that was identified was connectivity with the larger transportation network. The Angeles National Forest and the San Gabriel Mountains National Monument is perhaps unique in terms of how many people live around its edges. And along with all those people comes an extensive network of county roads, state roads, federal highways. And it was really important to the public that we look at how we can connect the National Monument to that extensive transportation network that surrounds us. Our starting point in addressing those four major issues, as well as the presidential proclamation, was to look at our existing land management plan, which was finalized in 2006. Once we'd identified what needed to change in our existing forest land management plan, we assembled those changes into the draft Monument Management Plan, as well as an accompanying environmental assessment to describe what we think the impacts on the environment of our proposed new plan would be. The purpose of today's meeting is to give you, the public, a chance to comment on these two draft documents that we've just released. Of course, the Forest Service is managing the National Monument for you, the American public. And so it's really important to us to get your feedback and for you to provide us any other guidance that you think we might need in preparing the Monument Management Plan. You have until October 17th to give us your feedback, and there are 3 different ways that you can provide that to us. Comment cards are being made available at today's meeting, and you can either leave comments with us today on those cards, or you're free to take those cards home and send your comments to us later in the mail. Just make sure it gets to us before October 17th. The other way that you can provide us feedback on the 2 draft documents is by going to the project website and leave your feedback there.
This is about a plan for the area, a long-term plan similar to how an area in a community is zoned for future use. So please, join with us, help us build a future for the monument. We thank you for your time and your interest, and we look forward to working with you.